Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our cool down. This is the cool down we'll do after every workout is complete. It's called the Fab 5 static stretches. It's 5 stretches that we do to realign the fiber that you kind of mangled or broke down during the workout. It's also gonna help release toxins and help the recovery process start immediately upon completion of the workout. So we're gonna do 5 exercises that go through a stretching program. The next exercise we're gonna do is what's called the seated chest stretch. From a seated position, you're gonna have your knees bent, toes pointed straight ahead. You're gonna take your hands behind your back, pointed in the opposite direction of your toes. From here, you'll lift your chest up nice and tall, squeezing your shoulder blades together to actually stretch out the chest. Where you're most likely gonna feel this stretch at is you're gonna feel it in the upper outer part of your chest, maybe right in front of the shoulder and down the front of your arm, known as your bicep. If you want to increase the stretch, begin to move your feet out away from the hands, scoot your hips out, and increase the stretch, but maintain a good tall posture. A common mistake with this stretch is that people allow their upper back to round out and they collapse their chest, which defeats the purpose of the stretch. Make sure you keep your stretch and your chest nice and tall. The next exercise is called the kneeling lat stretch. Kneeling on your knees, you're gonna sit your hips back onto the heels of your shoes. Reach out with your hands as far as you can, fully extending your elbow, and actually lift your palms up. You wanna have your head right between your arms so that your arm is even with your ear. Once you're in that position, try to relax and allow your latissimus muscle, or the sides of your upper back, to stretch. After you've held this for about 10 to 15 seconds, take your right arm, put it over your left arm, and then that will put emphasis on stretching the right side of your back. Once you've held that for 10 to 15 seconds, then rotate to the other side. Once you've done both sides, come back to neutral and stretch, making it even again. A common mistake in this stretch is that people lift their hips too far off of their heels of their shoe. Therefore, they don't get a proper stretch. They also let their head hang, and that is an improper posture. It's a bad posture to maximize your stretch. So make sure that you keep your hips on your heels, stretch it out, and relax. The next stretch that we're gonna do is what we call the prone piriformis stretch. It's also known as the booty stretch because that's exactly where you're gonna feel it at. From all fours position, you're gonna actually extend your right leg back behind you, and then slide your left leg up in front of you and pull your foot out to the side so the knee crosses the front of your body. From there, you're gonna relax into the stretch and put the back knee on the ground and extend your arms straight out in front of you so that you can maximize this stretch. A common mistake with this exercise is that people put their elbows down onto the ground and they round out their back, or they'll shift their hip over onto the ground, getting into a bad posture. What you need to do is keep a nice, tall, straight posture and relax into the stretch. The next stretch is what's called the Spider-Man stretch. Step out with your right foot just like we did during the Spider-Man with reach back during the warm-up. The movement is the same and the posture is the same, but you're just gonna hold the stretch. With the same side elbow, try to drive your elbow down to the ground as low as you can get it while extending the back knee, creating separation between your forward and your back foot. Hold the stretch for the prescribed number of seconds and make sure that you relax in the stretch, maintaining a good posture. A common mistake with this stretch is that people will round out their back, or they will lift the forward heel off the ground, shifting all their body weight into that knee. You don't want to put stress in the knee, so make sure the forward foot stays flat on the ground, maintain a good posture, and relax into the stretch. The next stretch we're going to do is what's called the calf stretch. Starting in a push-up position, you're going to take your left foot and put it across the back of the right heel. From that position, you will begin to walk your hands backwards, taking your hips in the air. As you walk your hands backwards and you take your hips in the air, you're going to try to drive your right heel to the ground, keeping your knee straight. Once you get to a point that you feel the stretch, hold it. Once you have done the prescribed repetitions or the prescribed time on this stretch, you will switch and do the other side. A common mistake in this exercise is that people will shift their hip. You need to keep your hips even. You don't want to drop one hip or the other. That is a poor posture. You always want to maintain good alignment and good posture while doing any stretch or any exercise. This is Jade Molina with Elite Athletics. See you next time on ProfessorIt.com.